My sister didn't like the fact that I was having a big gender reveal party because she doesn't agree with it. So she changed all the gender reveal colors inside those little explosion balls to something different. I'll let you guys know what it was in a minute, but you can't believe this. I mean, first of all, the audacity to go behind my back and ruin my special day, and I've always been so close to her. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to do something, and it might be a little petty. Hey guys, I'm posting here because I'm feeling conflicted, angry, and deeply hurt. I need an outsider's perspective. I'm 28 and I'm a woman, married to a wonderful man, and we're expecting our first child together. We're so excited and becoming parents, and as soon as we found out we were having a baby, we decided to host this extravagant gender reveal just to share the joy with our loved ones. You know, immediate family, extended family, friends, colleagues, everyone. It was going to be a huge thing. It's a new chapter in our life. Now, I do want to explain some background about my situation because it's key to understand what's happening. My younger sibling, Jenna, she's 19, she recently transitioned into a woman. Last year, she came out and started her transition shortly after that, choosing the name Jenna and asking for different pronouns. To say it's been a difficult road for her would be an understatement, especially because our parents outright reject her and refuse to acknowledge her transition. I've tried my best to support her throughout all this, even though I'll be honest, it hasn't been easy. I'm proud of Jenna for finding herself and being true to who she is, but at the same time, I can't ignore the fact that I feel like I've lost my little brother. The person I grew up with feels so far removed from the sister I'm now trying to build a relationship with. It's a strange and sometimes painful experience, and I've struggled to reconcile my love for Jenna with the grief I feel about the changes in our relationship. Still, I've always made a conscious effort to be there for her. I didn't want her to feel rejected or unsupported, especially after how our parents treated her. So, when she offered to help me plan the gender reveal party, I was thrilled. I thought it would be nice to, get us to bond. And I knew that she would be looking forward to being included in something important to me. I had this image of us coming together, working on something that would symbolize both my growing family and her newfound self. When Jenna said she wanted to be involved, I didn't hesitate. I trusted her. I wanted her to feel like an important part of the celebration. Leading up to the day of the party, things were going smooth. I had the decorations ready, the food planned, and the guest list set. We had friends, family, colleagues, all RSVP, and everybody was excited. But when it came to the last-minute prep, Jenna was there by my side. She helped with everything, from arranging the flowers to making sure the games were ready. Even though I had most of it handled, I was so appreciative of her help. I made sure to thank her more than once, always telling her how much it meant that she's involved. Then came the day of the party. Everything was going perfect. People were laughing, taking pictures, chatting, congratulating us. The food was great, and the atmosphere was light and joyful. I kept catching myself smiling and grateful for all the people in our lives who were there to celebrate with us. My husband and I were getting ready for the big reveal. It was our day, and the moment everybody had been waiting for was about to happen. Just before we did the reveal, I turned to Jenna and thanked her for all the help that she'd put in. She smiled and looked at me with a sparkle in her eye and said, "Wait for the ultimate surprise of the day." At that moment, I thought maybe she had some extra personal touch in mind, like a gift for us or some kind of surprise decoration, but I was excited and I went along with it. I didn't think too much about it, to be honest. I trusted her, and I thought that she was genuinely excited about the reveal. When the time came for the reveal, we stood in front of the guest. My husband and I were both holding the same smoke bomb, counting down with everyone. It was the most exhilarating feeling, knowing that in just a few seconds, we would know the gender of our baby and be able to share that joy with everyone. We were so caught up in the excitement, so happy, and ready to see blue or pink smoke pour out. We pulled the cords, and instead of the pink or blue that we would be expecting, a burst of rainbow-colored smoke filled the air. Well, at first, I was confused. I thought something had gone wrong. I looked over at my husband, and I saw that he had the same bewildered expression upon his face, and the crowd was silent for a moment. unsure of what had just happened. And then, in that quiet, Jenna stepped forward. She had microphone in hand already. She began speaking about her journey as a transgender woman. She talked about her transition, the challenges she faced, and how important it was for everyone to support people in their own journey of self-identification. She continued to speak about how she had hoped my baby would grow up to, quote, choose their own gender, and how she wanted to share that message with the world. The speech continued, and I felt my heart drop. At that moment, I realized what had happened. This wasn't just a gender reveal anymore. It wasn't about my baby or the joy that we were meant to share. It was about Jenna making a statement. And while I understand the importance of her speech, it was not the time for it. This was supposed to be about my child, and instead, it felt like the days were stolen from me. I don't think I was prepared for how it would feel to have something so personal and meaningful hijacked. The smoke bombs were meant to reveal the gender of our baby, a moment that was supposed to be for us as a family, but instead, they were used as a backdrop for Jenna's message about her journey. I couldn't help but feel betrayed. Jenna, of all the people, should have known how much this moment meant to me. She had been involved in the planning, and I had trusted her to help make this celebration, well, special for our growing family. But instead, she turned it into something that was about her journey, her message. To make matters worse, the rainbow smoke itself felt like an insult. It wasn't that I had issues with anything LGBTQ plus related. I was fully supportive of the community and had always been an ally. But the fact that it was a rainbow smoke instead of the pink or blue that we had specifically planned, it felt like a slap to the face. It was as if Jenna was saying that the gender of my baby didn't matter, that it wasn't important. I know Jenna's journey is important, okay? I fully support her, but this wasn't her moment. I understand the desire to use a platform to express one's belief, but there's a time and a place for everything. She didn't consider how her actions might affect me. She didn't ask me beforehand if this was something I would be okay with. She just went ahead, turned the moment into something about her, completely disregarding what it meant to me. And at that point, it couldn't mean something more, so I couldn't take it anymore. I felt disgusted, hurt, that I didn't know how to react, and my husband and I left the party quietly, without saying goodbye to anybody. We didn't make a scene, but I could feel the tension building up inside the air. We went home. I spent the evening in silence, just trying to process what happened. It's been days now, and I'm still struggling with how I feel. I mean, come on, I love my sister, and I've supported her through everything, but I feel like she took something from me, something that was supposed to be about my baby, about us, and made it about her instead. I feel betrayed by her actions, even though I know she probably thought she was doing something meaningful. Well, I can't shake the feeling of hurt that she turned my special moment into a personal statement without ever considering how it would affect me. I've been thinking about reaching out to her, but I'm not sure what to say. I want to tell her how I feel, but I don't want to hurt her or make her feel like I don't support her. I also don't want to feel like I'm the one who has to apologize for feeling hurt. I just don't know how to approach the situation. Am I wrong for feeling this way? Anyways, thank you for taking the time to read this. I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Update number 1. Oh, I've been reading all your comments and I want to say thank you, everybody who supported me. I've been such a whirlwind in my mind since the gender reveal party, and I feel like I'm still processing everything. I never thought I'd be writing an update, but here we are. I thought things would be settled, but instead everything's gotten so much worse. So here's the update. After the party, I spent a couple of days trying to figure out how to handle the situation with Jenna. I was hurt, I was confused, and honestly felt betrayed. The rainbow smoke bombs were a slap to the face, but the speech she gave about her journey and my baby's gender just crossed the line. It felt like she completely disregarded my feelings, my moment, and everything I was going through. After discussing it with my hubby, I decided I needed to confront her. So I went to my parents' house, where she's still living, to finally talk about it. I show up, absolutely furious. The second I walk in, Jenna's face, guilty. I couldn't quite place the other thing she was looking like, but before I could even ask her what she had done, she went off on me. Without even letting me speak, she called me all sorts of names and accused me of not supporting her. She said that I was angry because I could not accept her beautiful path, and that I was a terrible sister for not embracing her fully. I was shocked. I thought I would be the one expressing my hurt, not being accused of something. I asked her straight up, what the hell had happened at that party? Was she really trying to ruin my gender reveal on purpose? And that's when the bombshell dropped. She admitted it. Jenna straight up told me that she was jealous of me. Jealous that I was a woman who could get pregnant. Jealous that I was starting a family while she was still figuring out her life. She said that she deliberately did everything to ruin my moment because she resents me for being able to do something she couldn't. At least not in the way society expected. I was floored. I honestly couldn't believe what I heard. She admitted that she had done it on purpose, choosing the rainbow smoke bombs, making the speech, and completely hijacking my special day just because she felt like it. I could barely process her words. I've always been supportive of Jenna, no matter what she went through, and this is how she repays me? When I tried to talk about how hurt I was, how she had completely disrespected me, she just doubled down. She told me she wishes that my baby would turn out like her. It was like she had no empathy for what I was feeling at all. It wasn't just about the gender reveal anymore. Duh. It was about her own bitterness, and it was crushing. I've always tried to show love and understanding to Jenna, but at that moment it felt like I was looking at someone completely different. I couldn't take it anymore. I left the house in tears. My parents, who had been quiet until then, finally spoke up. My mother and father turned on Jenna in an instant. They told her that she had, quote, lost her dang marbles, and that what she did was cruel and unnecessary. They told me that I did not deserve this, and my mother hugged me and said that she would talk to Jenna, and that they would work things out. But honestly, I'm not sure how things will ever be the same. The damages, they feel deep, and how do you go back to normal when your own sister deliberately sabotages you like that? I can't shake the feeling that the sister I knew, she's gone. Jenna isn't the same person anymore, and I don't know how to reconcile it. I feel like I'm mourning not just my gender reveal, but the sisterly bond I thought that we had. It's hard to even look at her now the same. Update number 2. I wasn't expecting things to escalate the way they did after my last post, but here I am. I'm writing an update that I never imagined I would have to. I've been trying to keep my head down and focus on my pregnancy, but the situation with Jenna just keeps getting more complicated. After the conversation with my parents and Jenna's confession about sabotaging my gender reveal party, I thought things would cool down. I thought maybe Jenna would come around, apologize, and we could at least work through this mess. But I was wrong. So wrong. The more time that passed, the angrier I got. I've been so hurt, and honestly, I felt like I could not let Jenna off the hook for what she did to me and my baby. I wanted to get some closure, but what happened when I confronted her took me by surprise. Yesterday, I went to my parents' house to talk things through, hoping that we could clear the air, and I've been trying to keep my composure, but every time I thought about the way Jenna treated me, how she completely ruined the happiest moment of my life, I felt this overwhelming surge of anger. I was done holding back. I needed to get it off my chest. So, when Jenna walked into the living room, I did not hold back. I don't even know if I had time to think before I said it, but I called her by her original name, Robert. I told her that she was dead to me. The anger was consuming me, and I just let the words fly. I told her that I was mourning the loss of my brother, the one that I knew, and that the person in front of me was not the same. I didn't know if that would hurt her or help me process the pain, but it just felt right in the moment. I was raw and furious. I could see the shock on her face. But it didn't take long before Jenna exploded. She starts yelling at me, calling me every horrible name you could imagine. She accused me of being a terrible sister, of not accepting her for who she is, and being all sorts of names. It felt like she was, how do I say it, deflecting everything? Her jealousy, her insecurity, her hurt onto me. But it wasn't about that. It wasn't about accepting her identity. It was about her intentionally ruining my life, my baby's life, and my family's moments. Before I could even process what she was saying, she did something that completely took me off guard. She shoved me, hard. She actually pushed me and I almost lost my balance. At that moment, all I could think about was how dangerous it was. Not just for me, but for my baby. I'm 5 months pregnant, and Jenna knew that. She knew that I was vulnerable, and still, she chose to pick violence. I stumbled a little, but before I could fall, my mother, who had been quietly watching the exchange, rushed over and caught me. I was shaking, my heart was pounding, the adrenaline made my legs feel like jelly. I couldn't believe what had just happened. Jenna had just physically pushed me, and I could not stop myself from feeling scared for my baby. What kind of person does that? How far had she really gone? Jenna did not seem to care about the danger she had caused. Instead, she stormed out of the house, called everyone all sorts of names as she went, and my parents were furious, especially my mom. She kept asking if I was okay, if the baby was okay, and she said she couldn't believe Jenna had gone that far, that she was out of control, and I can't begin to understand how someone who was once so close to me could treat me like this. I don't know how to move forward. Update number 3. Hey guys, I am back and it's time for an update. I'm proud of what I did, but after everything that happened, after the way Jenna treated me, shoved me while I was pregnant, ruined my gender reveal, and basically tore apart the little bit of a family piece I had left, honestly, I felt like I had no choice. I had to do something. I've been stewing in anger, hurt, and disappointment ever since that day. I thought long and hard about it, but I eventually came up with a plan. Revenge. Petty as it may seem, it started to feel like the only way I could get some sort of satisfaction from it all. I had to make her feel the same humiliation and pain I felt. So yeah, I decided to do something that felt like a sweet payback. I wanted Jenna to realize that her actions had consequences. Big consequences. I don't waste any time either. The very next day, I went to her room while she was out. I knew where she kept her stuff and I knew her routine, and she always used that expensive shampoo that gave her rainbow hair an almost iridescent glow. It used to be a part of the fun when she first dyed it, like a rebellious statement that she was proud of who she was. As I stood in the room, the plan started to feel more and more real. I grabbed the bleach from under the sink, something I knew that she would never suspect. I swapped out the shampoo in the bottle. I was careful. I made sure it looked exactly the same, and if she wasn't paying attention, it would work. And the thought of her walking into the shower tomorrow, not knowing a thing, and then realizing her rainbow-colored hair was going to be destroyed, well, I won't lie. It felt good, it felt like justice. But it wasn't just her hair I was after. I wanted her to feel the weight of what she had done to me, to our family, and to my baby. So, I took things further. I found all her pride flags and memorabilia, stuff she always had proudly displayed in her room, and I destroyed them. I ripped apart the flags, tore up her posters, and everything that reminded her of her so-called pride. I knew that would hit her hard. Now, all I can do is wait, and I'm sitting here just waiting for tomorrow, for when Jenna comes home and takes the shower. I can't stop thinking about the look on her face when she realizes her hair is completely wrecked. When she steps out of the bathroom, I want her to understand what she did. I want her to feel the consequences of her actions, to finally understand that messing with me, especially when I'm carrying a baby, was a line that she never should have crossed. I'll be waiting for the drama that's about to unfold. Update number 4. Well, where do I even begin? I woke up this morning to the most insane, chaotic, frankly, a somewhat satisfying situation. I'd stayed over at my parents' house on purpose because I knew today would be the day Jenna would find out what I had done. Part of me was nervous, but another part of me could not help but feel a strange sense of anticipation. I've been waiting for this moment ever since she made my life a nightmare with that ridiculous stunt at my party. And then tried to push me when I was pregnant, and now she was going to get a taste of her own medicine. The day started off relatively calm. I could hear her moving around the house, and I knew she was getting ready for the Pride Parade today. So I assumed that she was in the bathroom doing her usual. I had been waiting for the inevitable. Her reaction to the bleach I swapped into her shampoo. I didn't feel an ounce of guilt. If anything, I felt a satisfaction behind it. She had humiliated me at my own celebration, pushed me to the brink of despair, and messed with my unborn baby's life. She deserved this. Then came the scream. It wasn't just a normal scream, it was a high-pitched, frantic, utterly panicked screech that I could not ignore, and I froze for a second, unsure if it was really going down. But as soon as I heard her yell my name, I knew that that moment had come. I almost didn't want to go, but a part of me wanted to watch her struggle, to feel the weight of the situation settle on her, but another part of me, perhaps the more rational part, knew that I had to be there, just to see it all unfold. So, I made my way down. Calmly, as if nothing was wrong. I could hear the frantic sounds of her trying to do something about the mess, and a part of me felt satisfied. When I opened up the bathroom door, I saw her standing there in front of the mirror, holding her now ruined hair in her hands. The rainbow-colored lock that she was so proud of was now an absolute disaster. Her hair had been bleached over completely white. Chunks of it were falling out in clumps, and it was exactly what I had hoped for. And though part of me hesitated for a split second, I couldn't deny the feeling of victory that surged through me. She had done far worse to me, and now it was her turn to deal with the consequence. The next few minutes were pure chaos. Beyond furious, cursing me out, calling me all kinds of horrible names, threatening my unborn baby. I didn't say much at first, I didn't have to. She knew exactly what I had done, and she was completely furious. She was yelling at everyone, calling us names and terrible, and as she left, honestly, I couldn't care less. She had brought this upon herself. What do you guys think? Update number 5. It's been 3 months since that horrible day. I've finally given birth to a beautiful baby boy. To celebrate his arrival, we threw a big party. Family and close friends were there, and I could finally feel the happiness I've been missing for so long. It was peaceful, joyful, and I liked it, and everyone around me was happy. I was just soaking it all in, cherishing every moment. I couldn't help but feel a little relief that despite everything with Jenna, I was surrounded by people who cared about me and my new family. As for Jenna, I've heard from a mutual friend that she's been staying with them, though things are not going well. Apparently, she's refusing to pay rent, and when her friend confronts her about it, Jenna accused them of being against her. Of course, this is the same old pattern, blaming everyone for her issues instead of taking responsibility for her actions. I mean, what do you think? The cycle never ends.